If you give me just 5 minutes every day, I'm going to teach you the fundamentals of new apartment construction and maybe, just maybe, revolutionize the development business that you're already in. Many developers are spending enormous amounts of time, money, and energy on building product classes or asset classes that now are challenged. And if you were in the office sector, the hotel sector, the retail sector, and maybe in some areas, the residential business, it might have felt like a treadmill, okay? Well, the apartment business is really quite different. It's a long-term business. Now think about this. Think about the home builders from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, okay? Many of them are gone. In fact, people don't even remember their names. But now think about the apartment business. Those developers are still there and they've built fortunes for their companies. In fact, even if they've sold, those buildings are still there and represent the work that they've done. So people say, well, how do I know I should build apartments? What are the factors that are driving apartment demand? Well, I think there's four things. Number one is population growth, right? You need people, you need a growing population to absorb new apartments. Number two is income trend. So you want to be looking in the neighborhoods where incomes are rising and incomes are going up. You also want to be looking at the age. And I like neighborhoods where the resident profile is getting older or the resident profile is getting younger. You know, middle-aged people, families, they want to own houses. They should own houses. But it's the baby boomer and it's the millennial that wants apartments. And then here's a rough rule of thumb. And you know, we're not about rough rules of thumb, we're about the data. But I think you can make this broad statement. For every 5 jobs created, you should build 1 apartment. The current economy really is the perfect storm for apartment development. And let me explain to you why. I think that there are 4 reasons. Number 1 is renter demand. Look, the population is growing, immigration will come back, and there is a solid demand for rental apartments. Number 2 is investor demand. Look, we've just been through a very difficult time, and a lot of real estate asset classes have suffered, but apartments haven't. And most institutional owners are underweighted in apartments, and they're going to want to add to this asset class. But they don't want to own those buildings that were built, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. Investors want their apartments to look like their office buildings. And so that's why they want Class A product. And we think that there's a huge opportunity for you to become a merchant apartment builder. So you design it, build it, lease it up, and then sell the fully stabilized building to an institution. That's the second. The third is, you know, your single largest cost is cost of capital. And if you can cut your cost of capital, that's how you're gonna have a winning project. Well, the cost of capital's already been cut. Interest rates are at the lowest that they've ever been historically. And most people think they're probably going to stay there. So this is a long run that you can be on to build apartments. And number 4, maybe, just maybe, land prices will come off. And if things become challenging enough, then maybe construction costs will come off. So you've got the perfect storm happening. Lots of renters, strong investor demand, historically low interest rates, and maybe land costs and construction costs come off. So here's the one thing a developer needs. He needs a clear answer. So after attending our program, I think you're going to be positioned to give yourself a green light, go, or a red light, stop. This isn't about yellow lights. We're going to teach you everything you need to know about apartments. And look, you probably already know 90% of what you need to know. What we're going to teach you is the last 10%, to take the skills, the experience that you have, that really rich background that developers have, teach you the last 10% to become a merchant apartment builder. In our next video, I'm going to share with you the answer to this question: what should I build? I'm going to talk about unit mix, unit size, amenities, and parking. We'll see you then.